Welcome to the After Hours podcast. This is our first episode. My name is Megan.
My name is Ahmad.
My name is Jasmine.
My name is Sayla.
And one of our members is not here tonight, Jalea. Praying for her because she's under the weather tonight, so hopefully she'll be here for the next episode. But we're going to jump into it and kind of introduce ourselves a little bit more. I'm Megan. I'm a senior. I'm a kinesiology major. Yeah, I graduate in December.
All right, as I already said before, my name is Ahmad. I'm a junior this year. I'm majoring in political science. That's pretty much it so far. As the podcast continues, I'll let you guys in on a lot of other things, but
you want to be mysterious with us like that?
Well, they'll figure out.
All right, my name is Jasmine. As I said before, I am a sophomore majoring in hospitality management, so check me out in a few years at my restaurant.
I'm Sayla. I'm a junior, political science major. What I'll do with that degree, who knows, but we're still here, so that's great.
Okay, so we started this podcast literally because we were having a conversation one night, and we were just talking about stuff, having a good time, and I just kind of threw out the idea, what if we made a podcast? And that's how we got here today. So that was kind of the whole backstory of how this was created. So to kind of warm ourselves up, we're going to do the Mystery Oreo Challenge. I don't know if you guys have seen this online, but it's like Oreos, they made like a mystery flavor, and like if you guess it, you might win money for it. So we're going to open this package up.
What is it, 50,000 or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of money, people, so make sure you're going out.
Broke college students better do this challenge.
Yeah, better make sure going
just
out.
Just rip it open,
get
it's
it.
fine. Just pass it around.
Yeah.
Puff, puff, pass.
Is it a fall flavor? It smells like
what does it smell like to you?
It smells like golden graham or like
it does smell like a graham cracker.
A graham cracker.
You gonna take a bite? All right. Oh, you're ready. Oh, okay. Ooh, okay.
All right, let's see.
Isn't this just a graham, like the golden teddy bear crackers?
Yeah.
Hey, don't snatch that idea. This is my money, just in case we win.
I'm done.
But it's turning into something else as you swallow. But it tastes like a graham cracker.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like specifically the teddy bear grahams.
Yeah, teddy grahams.
Yeah.
It's good.
The original one or like the cinnamon flavored one? Because I'm tasting some cinnamon.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I don't know how I feel about eating this. Like, could I eat a whole pack of this?
Well, there you have it. We just won $50,000.
Oreo, hit us up. You're welcome.
Oreos endorse us.
Yeah.
Sponsor.
Definitely.
Okay, so let's jump into the first topic. We're going to talk about freshman year reality versus expectations.
I'll say it's a big difference, you see on the movies, you see, you get in there, you see all these people partying 24/7. I mean, it's kind of similar, but at the same time, it's kind of below. You're in here, you're waiting, to finish, or you're continuing to build yourself. So you're going to find things a little bit difficult, definitely your first year. You're going to struggle. I think we can all agree that we've struggled in some sort of aspect of college life, but you'll get adjusted pretty fast, and, it just continues.
No, I don't know. Like, let's be honest. Like, freshman year, as much as it was to take in, also, like, it was probably, like, the easiest to have, like, initial fun. Like, you don't really have to plan stuff. Everything's geared towards freshmen. You didn't have to, like, worry about issues. Like, it was just, like...
There you go. Yeah, look closer.
So it was just, like, I don't know. Like, freshman year was just so easy to do things. Regardless if you wanted to do things or you were overwhelmed by everything, everything is really geared towards the freshman class. So there's more than enough opportunities to do stuff. Granted, you have to figure out what that is, good or bad. But I don't know, freshman year was a lot, emotionally, physically, and at the end of the day, like, classes are classes. That's never going to change, but it's all about that social life and, like, how you balance that out,
Yeah.
So,
all right. Given that I'm just now a sophomore, yeah, freshman year, not it. So I guess expectations, a few would be parties, and that includes like drinking and all of that. Harder classes was something that all the high school teachers said. Like having a hard time balancing social life. So those were like kind of the main ones. So when I actually got there, I will say partying was very, that was not a lie. Parties every weekend. It's crazy. I don't know how they do it. In terms of workload, no. A lot of the courses that I took that weren't science-based were very bird-like courses. Like, you didn't have to do any work, and you just, like, passed it, and that was it. Excuse me. And then, like, social life aspect, that was a rough spot for me, personally. I was social, but it was, like, hard trying to find myself in, like, the right group, because it's very cliquish, which I'm sure is, you know, at every university, if not all universities. So I guess that was probably, like, the hardest part, was just trying to find a group to fit in. But once I did find it, you know, I was able to stick with it, and it was a good experience. So
good. Mine was a little bit different since I went to community college first. So my freshman year, it was like out of high school, and it was like just go down the street to community college, and it wasn't too bad because the classes were about the same as high school. It was just the fact that community college, I saw more range of age. So like I saw people who were a lot older, or like people that had their kids, they bring their kids to class. So that was new compared to high school. But my experience freshman year was a little bit more laid back. I still didn't know what I wanted to do. I honestly still don't know what I want to do. I'm about to graduate in December. I still don't really know what I'm doing. But I also think when I used to watch like movies about going to college, like you saw like the parties, you would like probably meet this really great guy or girl in college and be like, this is it, my life's about to be set in college. Like, nah, that hasn't happened yet.
Going back to Jasmine's point about people or colleges being cliquish, I definitely agree. A lot of people, they come to the university with their own friend group, like already made up since high school. So for me, well, I'm coming from out of state, so Atlanta is a big place. So I had a lot of friends who went to different colleges, and they were begging me to go to whichever one, you know, whether it be West Georgia or whether it be Georgia State, Kennesaw State, whatever, UGA. But it just wasn't for me. I didn't want to get caught up, I guess, in foolishness, you know. So I decided to come all the way here, put myself in a situation where I haven't been before, where I don't know anybody at all. So it forced me to build, you know, friendships again instead of like having already made for me. So
college is really about what you make it to be. And I think a lot of times you hope it can be the movie version, but it's all about who you are as a person, your personality, the type of people you meet. Because I was going out every night with friends, and it wasn't like we were traveling the world or spending money. Like, no, we didn't have money, so that wasn't happening. So it's really like you can do things. You can really make it your own movie version of college. It's just about who you are and who you meet up with. Like my cousin, she's out every weekend, going different places, visiting people, and that's just because of her personality and her friend group. Like, it can happen, but just realize that it might not. Like, don't expect it to happen and just fall into your lap like the movies. Like, you have to go out there and make your own college experience.
And I'll also say, if you are deciding to go to college, make sure you do some sort of like before college prep type of situation where you already on the campus. You get to build relationships with people who are doing the same program as you. So when you get to campus, you already know people that are there, and they'll, you know, support you, you know, help you out along the way because they're learning at the same time. So,
Did y'all do a campus tour when y'all came here?
Yes, I did.
Did you? I didn't do one.
I actually didn't either.
Yeah, me neither.
So what about scholarships? When you were applying for scholarships to come here, how did that go for y'all?
Well, I don't want to make it seem like it's too easy. Like, there's definitely grades that are a factor. Sometimes, depending on when you apply, it could be the factor. It's a lot of things. I'm not picking people for scholarships, so I can't say who gets what. But on my side, my school actually forced us to apply. It was a minority scholarship, and we had to apply to it really early. Like, we applied in August because our advisor was like, oh, yeah, you need to apply to school right now, and you need to apply for the scholarship, or you can't go on this trip that we're going on. And I was just like, okay. So, like, 50 of us, maybe less, applied to the school and for the scholarship all around the same time. And most of us really all got it. I really didn't know of anybody who didn't. Keeping your scholarships is a different thing, but getting it, definitely look for them. Is even if you feel like, oh, I can pay for college, don't. If you don't have to.
Right.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, what happens, you can put that in your pocket, and there's more than enough money. It's all about how willing you are to go out and search for stuff. So, and your grades also. But yeah.
Anybody else on that? No?
I'll probably say scholarships they're out there, definitely, but make sure they're the ones that are gonna get you to where you gotta be. Well, in a sense, like for me, I got caught up. Well, my last major, I got in-state tuition for it, and if you're an out-of-state student, that's like, hey, that's like something you need to capitalize on. But at the same time, you don't want to risk your happiness in the major that you decide to choose because of the scholarship. Because I got caught in a situation where I wasn't enjoying my major. It just wasn't for me. And so I decided to go on a limb and just choose another major, which is political science now. So just make sure that, if you're in a situation like that, make sure if it has to benefit you first. So
don't do what I did. The
What
only
did you
reason
do?
why I'm at is because they gave me a decent scholarship, but I did not want to get all. Like, I did it because my mom told me to, and I put all my eggs in one basket for another university, and they didn't even accept me. So I put all my time and energy into all these other universities that I really wanted to get into. I applied to all of their scholarships. I did all of those applications, and didn't even get in. So when it came to, they were like, oh yeah, come on in, and here's a scholarship for you. So I could have gotten more had I put the time into it how I did to the other universities. So my word of advice would be, make sure you have at least 3 or 4 different schools you're looking at, and apply the same pressure to each. Like, if you go all in for one university, go all in for another university, because you never know what's going to come from it. And you don't want to, like, be caught up in a whole bunch of debt because, like me, you put all your eggs in one basket and they all cracked. So, yeah, be smart with it.
Yeah, I definitely agree. For me, I applied to like 6 schools. I got in all of them except one, and that's the one that I really, really wanted to go to. Some of my friends go there now, but I'm gonna put them on blast. Say, Howard University. I'm putting you guys on blast. I applied early. I just never put in the information. I was just, messing around. But once I put it in, I was like, hey, this might be the move for me. So.
I will say that was my top choice. I got into other schools. They gave me very great financial packages. I got scholarships. I got accepted to honors college. And that was really great. However, it wasn't enough to make me want to go to their schools. Like, if I was financing my college out of my own pocket, probably would have looked at them a little closer. But definitely, like, look at what you have. So even if you don't have all the money, if you really, really want to go to that school, then go. But you have to look at the risk factor of future debt or loans, or if you have outside sources that could cover the fee. You kind of have to look at that, because not everybody's getting a full ride scholarship. That's just not happening.
Yeah.
If it happens, kudos. But you'll usually get partial scholarships, or you'll get scholarships once you get into school, so you can apply through your major. or college within the actual college. So like pharmacy or arts and sciences, arts, all that kind of stuff. You can look at maybe potentially covering you later on, but it's all about what you choose and what you like. But just understand that bill at the end of the stage is real.
Since I went to community college, I got my associates in arts and an associates in sciences at the same time. And then I had to figure out where was I going to transfer to. And the main reason why I chose it was because it was the first school I applied to my senior year. And they accepted me, so I was like, I'll just probably go here. And I had a lot of friends here too, but since I was transferring, there's a lot of transfer scholarships too. So like if you graduate from high school and you don't know what you still want to do and there's a community college close by, I would definitely suggest community college because it's cheaper. It lets you transition into college if you're like me and a little bit more introverted, you don't know what you're doing. So like when I transferred, I had transfer scholarship and it paid for all my tuition. So all my tuition was paid for and all I paid for was housing, which saved me a lot of money.
I will say on top of that, community college is great, but make sure that your credits transfer.
Oh yeah,
because there's a lot of community college, like the one in Memphis, sucks about transferring credits. So if you're gonna go that route, kudos, like great, you're saving money, but just make sure the next place you want to go, it'll get all of your hard work to that place. Otherwise, you'll have to start all over.
Yeah, also start early. I did a dual enrollment program, but the college community college that I did that really sucked. Atlanta Tech, I'm putting you guys on blast too.
I ain't gonna call everybody out tonight.
But I mean, still, it's just, even still, you're getting that experience of college early. So I did it when I was a junior in high school. So I got that experience already in my bag. So I came here knowing what to expect. So make sure you do it early.
In the spirit of putting people on blast, yes, the community college transfer credits is wild. So I personally went to a community college the summer before I went to freshman year, and I was just going to get my basics out the way, like an English class, really. And I went to orientation, and they were like, listen, that credit's not going to transfer. And I'm like, sweetie.
What English was that? English 101, 102?
Yeah, because at this college that we're at, they have their own English class, which encompasses technology as well. So basic English classes don't transfer. And so I just came back home, went to my little community college, and was like, yeah, I'm dropping this course. Like, there's no reason for me to stay here and work for a grade that's not going to transfer. And so I just sat in the class for the rest of the day, and he was like, oh, I'm so sad to lose you. You're such a great writer. And I was like, yeah, this is wasting my time and effort. And so, and it was just so awkward because I just left in the middle of class because I was like, I don't know why I'm here. So be careful. Make sure you talk to the college you're going to if you're doing summer courses, or if you're thinking about transferring to that school later on. Definitely ask them, even if you're not there, because transferring credits is wild.
Yeah, definitely having a good academic advisor, because my academic advisor was really good to me in community college. So she was able to help me, and then I ended up having more credits than necessary. So not even all my credits are on my transcript because they can't all fit. I'm overachiever.
I'll say that.
Oh, no, you go.
Go. I'll say that too. Hopefully you get a great advisor, because I have not had the best of luck with advisors at the university that I go to now. But just make sure they're supporting you, checking up on you. Make sure they're emailing you, or make sure you're emailing them at the same token. Make sure that you're on top of them with stuff. So. Okay,
so we can now jump into any regrets that we've had while being in college currently. Jasmine, you rolling your eyes?
Well, to start off lightly, because it seems like we got some deep feelings or memories attached to regrets. No, I think now I don't see them as regrets. Maybe in the moment, because my thought process was different. I was like, that was time wasted, or I could have been enjoying my freshman year a lot more than what I was, or maybe if I wasn't as dependent on people to hang out with me, then I could have experienced this or did this by myself. And
I'm feeling this fan. Where is this fan coming?
And so, yeah, like, I think if I was to regret anything, it would be the issue of of depending on people to have fun with. Like, it's really about, if I want to do something, then I'm going to do it. And it wasn't until my junior year that I really, one, had a friend group that I was really enjoying time with, and it didn't feel as exhausting mentally. And also, I have like the strength and confidence to go out and do things by myself and engage in different activities by myself. And I didn't have that before. And so, was it time wasted? Not really, because I enjoyed in the moment maybe, but I can definitely see where I could have enjoyed it more. So that's my only college regret.
I feel like I don't have any really college regrets, only the fact that I chose in-state money over my happiness, because it kind of put me in a situation where I didn't know where I was going to go afterwards. So luckily I found political science as the next route for me, but I came into college then, like, I wanted to go to pharmacy. I want to, go this route with agriculture, medical, biotechnology, but at the same token, it's like, is it going to make me happy? Like, yeah, I'm going to be making a lot of money doing what, pharmacy, with that, I'm making a lot of money, but am I going to be happy at the end of the day? So making that switch over to political science, made me a lot happier, it kind of boosted my mood for college. So
looky here. I would say my top 2 regrets in a nutshell would be, 1, being a people pleaser is impossible. Don't try it. And 2, trying to beef up my resume so much so that I was not enjoying the college experience at all. So I understand a lot of high school teachers and even college, advisors say, do everything you can to put as much as possible on your resume, for jobs, internships, whatever the case may be. That's fine, but make sure you're still sane at the end of the day. Because, like, in my situation, I was literally doing something every single day of the week. Like, I was either in a meeting, had to go to a practice, or something like that. It was just every day, on top of homework, on top of classes, on top of social life. So it became a chore more than it became, a recreation, something that I enjoyed. So I would say whatever you're doing, whatever your major is or going into, with your extracurriculars, make sure it's making you happy, make sure it's not stressing you out, and, make sure it's doing something for you. Like, don't just do it because everybody else is doing it. Like, do it because you like it, and do it because you're having fun with it, and that you're learning from it, and you're actually getting something out of it. And as far as people pleasing goes, just get you a good friend group, and you don't have to worry about it. Because I will say that's probably a number one struggle among a lot of freshmen, is if you're coming alone, just trying to find that. And it's really easy to get trapped in trying to be someone that you're not. And that causes a lot of stress too. So I would say be cautious, be wary, know who you are, first of all, before you get there. And then once you know that, whenever you meet people, let them know, okay, this is who I am. If you don't like it, you can get to step in.
yeah.
But if you do, we can chill. So just be cautious of that.
Make sure you know yourself, because you don't want to end up, in the wrong crowd doing the wrong things, so.
And I would like to add to that, like, don't get caught up if your friend group from freshman year is not the same friend group the next year or the year after, because just because they're not your same friends that you hang out with doesn't mean they were bad people necessarily. Just because people fizzle out your life doesn't have to be because of extreme reasons. Like, things change. You're an adult now. Like, you're going to have jobs. You're going to have school. Like, your majors are going to demand different things from you all, and clubs. And so if you're not hanging out with those same people, like, do not, like, be sad or be upset or, make it seem like it's more conflict than needed, because at the end of the day, you grow as a people and individuals, and that's okay. So that's a word of advice, because I'm not hanging out with the same people freshman year. I see them, I have classes with them, and I enjoy their company when I'm around them. But, I have a different group that I hang out on the regular with now. And that's cool. We grow, we expand. We're not tight-knit as we used to be in high school, and that's okay.
The only regret, same with Ahmad, like, I don't really have any college regrets, but, like, the only one that comes to my head is in community college, we had a choir class that was a part of all through college. And we performed at our graduation, so the plan was the choir sings in the back. I have to walk out and, like, go to where my seat is, and then I can just walk back around to go sing the national anthem and then sing a song with them. And that was the plan. And, like, they had all my music there ready for me. I'm walking down, I go to my seat, I'm standing there. And instead of going ahead and walking back around to go sing with the choir, I end up being, like, frozen in place. And for some reason, I get really scared to, like, go walk back there. And I can still never understand why I didn't go back there and walk with them. But I felt terrible because, like, our piano teacher, she was, like, our choir director, but she also played piano. And she was playing the piano, and, like, it was, like, really a long time she kept playing. Everybody was probably thinking, like, why is she playing so long? I was like, she's probably waiting for me to, like, walk back there and go sing. And then, like, they eventually just had to sing without me, and, like, I still feel so bad about it. I feel like I let everybody down. And I even, like, apologized to my choir director, like, I'm so sorry. It's like, I don't know what came over me that day, but I was too scared to walk in front of people. I guess I was scared I was gonna trip. The introverted inside me was like, no, we ain't walking in front of all these people like that. You got wedges on. We ain't doing this. But that's, like, the one regret. So since that regret, I've decided I cannot hold myself back in terms of music stuff. Like, no more being afraid to sing in front of people.
Yeah, I mean, you did an excellent job at, one of the events a couple weeks ago. So.
And Jasmine, she also did her poetry too. Yeah,
it was amazing to watch.
We a talented group, y'all. We talented. Any funny stories? We got any bad roommate experiences?
I've had terrible.
Really? Oh, you were ready. You like, let me tell you. Let me tell you about this.
So my first roommate for freshman year, like we got along, well since it was, first semester, and we met during one of the programs that UK had, early move-in and stuff. So we were talking then, but he was dirty. Like he just there's no way to describe it. It was awful. Like he would leave trash everywhere. Never picked up his trash. I've seen glimpses of his room with like it was pizza boxes, Popeyes chicken on the bed, like oh my goodness. But I mean it just wasn't working. Like I would invite him to come out with come hang with me, come out and do something fun, walk around, go to this little block party thing. And he went to some of them, but he was just wasn't feeling it. So
did you confront him on his dirtiness, or did you just let it slide?
I didn't confront him. I should have did it earlier, but I confronted him when the whole room started to smell like just funk. Like it was like I use aromatherapy stuff like just to like spruce up the room, like make it smell somewhat decent. But my room smelled clean. Let's get that there. But the common area was it was terrible. It just smelled so bad. Like I didn't want to be in the room. Like I literally was never in my room until I had to go to sleep. So yeah, it's bad. And then my second roommate, I'm sorry to
no, go ahead.
You gotta repeat.
Let it out.
My second roommate, he was just weird. Like I didn't know if he was like, I don't know if he was like, to himself, or he was just like he didn't want to talk, but he was just to himself, and he would make random noises in the middle of the night. I don't know what he was I didn't know what he was doing. I'm hoping that he was playing some game and he was just getting frustrated, but let's say that for a fact, like he was kind of out there. But That's my roommate experience. My roommate this year, he's, you know, cool. You know, we don't have any issues.
Yeah, you
know.
better say something nice about him.
Yeah,
You listen
he's-
to this.
No, but he, you know, he's dope, you know, so, you know, I let him do his own thing, but
That's good.
yeah,
Seems like a struggle.
it was.
I don't have any roommate stories. Like, I'm a person, I have pet peeves, but like it's never going to go too far usually. But I will say, when I came to college, I thought I was I was grown. Like, step off the, out the car, I'm grown. And I entered at 17, which was interesting because you're not grown. And like, relationship, flirting, like, you're walking a thin line. And so, yeah, so in that, I'm not going to, get too deep. But I remember after I turned 18, I went in to get a piercing, and I was getting my third piercing on my ear, and you know what? I called my mom. Like, I was like, hey, because I got to go back to her place. I'm an adult in name only. Like, even when I was 17 and acting grown, I wasn't. And so I remember her telling me no. And I was like, wow, that's really strong language. No, like, is that really, like, is that a no? Like, is that, like, a permanent no? Is that, like, what does that mean? And she was just like, I know you've wanted this since middle school, so you do what you think. And that's mom language for don't do it, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to get it. And so I got it, and I really didn't even keep it. Like, it was, like, $40 piercing at Claire's, like, I mean, that is some money, but at the same time, like, I don't know. And so me and two of my friends all got our ears pierced. And it was really interesting because one of my friends got his first piercing, my other friend got her second, and then I got my third. And so we were just rocking, like, boom, 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 sitting down, getting up, sitting down, getting up for our piercing. And that's when I was like, oh, yeah, I'm grown. I'm making decisions around here. Who can demand anything from me? And I'm pretty sure a lot of freshmen feel that way, and a lot of freshmen get in trouble that way. So just think, like, if the first thought of, like, oh, I'm going to do this is, oh, I'm grown enough, you take a seat, breathe a little, think it through, because that could be a regret. It wasn't a regret on my end. Probably money not spent well, but it wasn't a regret because I wanted it since I was younger. But I'm just letting you know that tattoo might not be worth it. Or, hey, I really wanted to get this. Think about it.
Yeah.
Because your parents might say, yeah, that's great. And then you're like, why do you let me do this? I thought you loved me. And so, yeah.
I don't really have anything crazy. I mean, I'm not gonna mention her name in this, but I had a random roommate when I transferred here my junior year, and I had these plastic containers that I like to use to, like, store stuff in, and I guess at one point she was getting a little too comfortable.
Oh, no.
Because she started, like, using my silverware and stuff, and I would, like, notice that it was in the sink. Like, she wouldn't even wash it. Like, she just let it sit there. And I'd have to wash my own stuff that she used. And she liked to eat ramen. So she used to have this plastic or glass bowl that she used, and she'd, like, do the ramen in the microwave. And then after a while, I noticed that my plastic containers went missing.
Oh, no.
And I had, the lids were there, but the containers were not there anymore.
Wow.
They were gone. And at that point, I realized she had probably been using them for the ramen and been cooking them, and they got warped in the microwave.
Oh.
And I'm pretty sure instead of telling me, she just, like, probably tossed them and didn't even, like, be like, hey, I got these messed up. I can get some more for you. So, like, I didn't have those containers no more.
Dang.
I was a little bit salty with her for that. Another story with her, she's not a bad person. I think it's just poor decisions. But I had two friends from high school. They were minors at the time, and they were staying at my dorm for a band competition thing going on at UK. And it was like 2 a.m. We're asleep. All of a sudden, the door opens, bangs open, like, boom. And I'm like, what the hell is going on over here? Like, all I hear is a bunch of talking and people stumbling around. I open the door. Her friends are carrying her in because she is, like, drunk.
Oh,
She can't even walk.
oh,
They're
man.
giving her a shower, and I'm just sitting here like, yo, we trying to sleep. They got somewhere to be at like 8 in the morning. Y'all come up in here like this. And I was like, y'all, this
Yeah.
is not normally how college is. Like, but you gonna have that roommate that's gonna come in blacked out, and like your friend, like they were over here like really having to give her a shower. They used one of my friends, they used her towel, and I had to go wash her towel because like they used it and they thought that was like hers. And I was like, yo, y'all gonna use a random person's towel like that? So like I felt bad because like I was just like, guys, this is not how college is all the time. Like, one of those rare choices where it happens like this, but I'm so sorry. And then there's another time with her also where I think she used my body wash for a while. Because I was gonna go take a shower, and she had taken a shower like a while back, and like I was smelling, I was like, yo, this smell like my body wash up in here. And I was like, I think she used my body wash. So I never put my body wash in the shower ever again. I would always take it out, carry it in. I'd be like, nah, not today. My mom's paying for one, not two.
Let me mention back on the body wash thing. My first year, my roommate never showered.
What?
Never
What do you
had
mean?
never had soap in the bathroom. Never
So just
had
water?
Yeah. He was taking water showers. Like just sitting there like I was like, bro, like this is nasty. I can't do with this no more. I'm sorry.
We like to call that trifling.
Yeah.
Um,
Definitely.
Okay, as far as roommate goes, I only had one for half a semester. So not too many stories, but one story, I guess. I don't like the smell of smoke, like cigarette smoke. I don't think anybody does.
Yeah.
Well, not my roommate. So like, I understand she's from France and everything, and she was a junior. You know, she knew what was going on with college. But no, you don't smoke in the dorms. Like,
Yeah.
no. I mean, I understand you had your window open, but that like seeped into my room and got all up in my clothes.
Yeah.
You know, in the living area, and I kid you not, I had my window wide open, and my nose was like next to the screen where like the window is. Like I'm just trying to breathe air, like
That's
because
crazy.
I don't like smoke. But then also it gives me a headache. Like strong smells in general just give me a headache.
Yeah. Same.
And so immediately, as soon as I like smelled it, like instant headache. And so I had to deal with that all night. And so finally, I was kind of nervous to confront her about it because, like, what do you say?
Yeah.
So I was like, hey, you know, do you smoke in the room or whatever? And she was like, oh, yeah. Like,
Just
no
casually?
problem. Yeah, no
that's
problem.
crazy.
And I was like, oh, well, could you maybe next time do that, you know, outside, off the campus, you
Yeah.
know, out of the building?
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, yeah, my bad. I didn't know it was a problem. I'm like, first of all, you're not supposed to be smoking on campus, period. Like,
Yeah.
anywhere on campus. So what makes you think you can smoke in the dorm? What?
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so I guess that was my only thing. And then she ended up leaving and not telling me. So when I came back and she didn't come back, I was just kind of like, where you at? And she was like, I dipped. And I said, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess that was my roommate experience.
My second roommate, my second year roommate, he left in the middle of the year too. So I was kind of happy about that. But at the same time, I was like,
I'm so
bruh.
lonely.
Well,
Right.
I wasn't lonely. I was
Looking at that closed door like, ain't nobody here.
I
was
remember
hoping,
when.
I was hoping that the door was open so I could just put stuff in there and just like chill.
Yeah.
Have it be like somebody, like if I had somebody staying over, just sitting there. But
Do Airbnb.
yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah, no. My roommates were good. I bonded with one more than the other, but they were both really great girls, and they were both black. So hey, no, but I really enjoyed my roommate, especially last year. My freshman year, she was really cool. It was cool just being like a freshman with somebody who's actually enjoyable. And so that's great. Not everybody's, thing, as we've heard. But yeah, no, roommates hit or miss, And if you can come to school with your friend, I will say that you've never lived with your friend.
Right.
So it is a risk. It might be great because I don't know your friends. I don't know what y'all be sisters, brothers for life. I don't know. but you've never lived with them. And so sometimes living with friends, you get all their daily issues and you've never spent that much time with them. You've never met their friends, like some of their like new friends and stuff. Like that can cause conflict. So I would just keep in mind when you're just trying to room with your best friend from high school, all the things that might happen. And that could lead to the end of your friendship. Not saying it will, but just, keep that in mind, because it's a hit or miss, really, sometimes when it comes to roommates.
Our last topic for now, unless anybody wants to jump in and throw something, we got graduation goals. What is next after you graduate from college?
Well, I feel like we should ask the next graduate
first. Oh.
Yeah, what's on the
to-do list?
To-do list?
New year, new you,
Probably for now, move back home. I mean, there's not many opportunities back home, but move back home because it would be a gap semester because I couldn't apply to grad school anyway till the following fall. So there's like 3 different options in my mind. Option 1, go home, get a job, save up, go to grad school in the fall, and after that become an OT. Option number 2, go home, get a job, join the Army Reserves, and then go from there and figure out maybe what I could do with that. Option 3, audition for The Voice. And maybe hope that I don't have to go to college anymore and I can just become a singer-songwriter like I always dreamed of.
Next celebrity, 10 years down, so you're at the Grammys.
Yeah. Yeah, I always feel bad because I think people always think I have everything together, and I'm like, nah, I don't know what's happening. I'm just taking one day at a time. God's going to take me in the right direction at the end of the day. So
yeah, I definitely agree.
In college, if you think anybody has their stuff together, it's probably a lie. Like a facade.
That's a rare occurrence if you run into somebody.
Yeah, because even if they're doing good in the moment, that doesn't mean next year they'll be doing good. Hopefully that means they're doing good. But once you graduate, that's a whole new ball game that whether you're prepared for it or not, it happens.
Right, but because usually once you graduate, like for me, I might not be like a dependent under my dad's name anymore because he's in the Army. So like I'm gonna have to get my own insurance, all these other things. I'm just like, yo, hold up, wait, I'm not ready to adult yet. Yeah. I know I'm 22, but it's not time.
Yeah, and it's not like they have events like what happens after UK or things like that. But like, how many people are really prepared to be like, oh, I gotta get that dental, I gotta get that medical, I gotta get the house. My job not really paying me because I'm fresh out of college. Like, I was supposed to be making bank, but like, hey, we still got to go to grad school.
Right.
Or for political science majors or other majors, like law school, that is huge. A cost, and law school itself is your job. Like, there's some schools that I heard that don't even let their first year students get jobs because you're supposed to be so dedicated to the school. And that's wild to think that I'm going to have money to do that. But there's scholarships and there's different programs to afford grad school. And a lot of people will say, like, look into it because you can get your grad school finance. Now, how much of it is depending on the school you go to, the people you know, and how early you apply. But just understand that after college, you have big dreams when you're in college. It doesn't always translate to the actions afterwards because you're like, oh, Lord, like, what? Like, let me go back. Like, I'm not ready. False alarm, graduation, redo. I need another semester to figure out my life. And at least college keeps you busy. Once you're out, it's like,
what do you do?
It's not summer break, because it's like, oh no, I need a job. I need to finance my life. And so it's just like, excuse me, can you help me? Or mom, can I stay at your place? Grandma, like, you want to slide that Christmas gift early? Like, it's like, where am I going to get this money? Because I mean, working
that
at
rent money.
It's no longer scholarships paying for everything. You're like, oh, let me get right back into school because you're like, I can't do this. Like, I have like too much free time, and like TJ Maxx is not going to pay for everything. And as great as a job that is, and shout out to those workers, there's certain lifestyles that you lived in college that even though you were broke, look how much tuition you're paying. You're not going to have that money just to be like, oh yeah, I'm out of college now, let me put that 40,000 to some new use. No.
Yeah.
You have like, you got to save, or you have nothing. So
Yeah, I mean, for me, I have a 5 to 6 year plan in place.
Now, Jalea's not here to comment on this, too.
Yeah,
so
I mean, look, this is my plan. But I plan on, after graduating, I'm going to take a year or two off from school, and just to get a refresher and just relax. And then, get work in my field, political science, whether it be internship or paid internship or, a real-time, full-time job. Then plan on going back to college or going to grad school. So, and that could be anywhere at this point. I have a few schools in mind, but we're not going to put that out there right now because I don't want them listening and saying, and saying stuff. So
I will say with my major, I don't technically have to go to quote unquote grad school. I'm just planning on opening a restaurant. So really, honestly, I could get away with getting an associate's and be fine, but I'm going with a bachelor's just so, I have that title, and like I could probably get, more donors and everything like that. So as of right now, like my plan is just as soon as I graduate, or even like while I'm still in school before graduation, just like keep working, try out different restaurants, see what it's like to be in the kitchen, up in the front house, a manager, just to see like all the different aspects of a restaurant and how it's run. And then kind of when I graduate, I might, have some internships under my belt. So then I'll start like applying for grants and everything, start getting my finances in place, figuring out, where I want to set it up, what I want to do, who I want to partner with, all of that. And I will say for anybody who's thinking about going into medical or law or, all those sciencey or like really big majors, when you graduate, please, I beg you, make sure you graduate with a hireable major. And what I mean by that is make sure you don't go pre-law, pre-nursing, pre-med, pre-vet. Like, get a major, biology, chemistry, whatever the case may be, so that when you graduate, if you don't automatically get into law school or all those, next level steps, that you have a backup plan and you can work somewhere. You can be a teacher, you can be in the lab, you can be in the clinic. So that way you don't have to worry about not being broke out here, because you have a bachelor's degree. There's no reason why you should be working at McDonald's on minimum wage. Like, seriously. And it happens to a lot of people because they don't think about that. So just keep that in the back of your mind. Like, work towards it. But if it so happens that you can't get into graduate school, make sure you have that major where, okay, I have these set up. I can work here. I can work there. I can make X amount of money and then continue on my way.
Yeah, don't get caught up on the pre-vet, pre-farm, pre-all that. It just doesn't, if you want to do it, hey, that's all power to you, do it. But it is not life or death for you. Just make sure there's other platforms and other areas you can explore and still do the same thing you want to do.
Yeah, especially like a lot of people are like, political science is the only way to get to law. And that's not always the case. You can take other majors and look at that. Just have an advisor maybe to help direct your path. But it's all about consistency. It's about what you do outside of school, volunteer, organizations. You have to be able to sell yourself regardless of your major to your school. So just because you have a political science and you were like an A student means nothing. It's not going to be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to get in because I'm a political science major, or I'm going to get in because I'm pre-law track. No. It means that you might have a different background and understanding of law or whatever specific interest that you had in those majors, but it doesn't mean that, oh, I'm guaranteed to get in. It's all about how you can sell yourself on a resume. And that doesn't mean doing a lot of things necessarily. It's about being consistent in the things that you do. So regardless, if you just join two things and you're consistent all the way through your 4 years and you go up through leadership or you go up the ladder or you participated, like that looks a lot better than I joined a 50 million clubs freshman year and I dropped them all sophomore year, It's not about the amount. It's about how it looks as to an employer or to a, law school, doctoral, like whatever college you're going to or grad school you're going to afterwards.
It's all about quality, not quantity. All right.
Well, Sayla, also, what are your goals?
Well, goals.
There we go.
No, currently, I mean, I haven't put much energy towards it because I've been living week by week in most days or most times. But I'm looking into grad school now. I know I don't want to be a lawyer. That's a fact. No, like that's just true.
Same.
I can't dedicate that time, nor do I want to. I'm also starting to look into research because I think that would be interesting and to further my knowledge in specific areas. And I don't have to teach necessarily. I mean, I'll have to talk. You have to talk and everything. But I think that would be really interesting. So I'm looking into that. Like I said, I haven't been giving much energy at the moment, but definitely looking at that. I definitely don't want a desk job that keeps me there as a corporate slave 24/7 for like 10 years. And I look back like, oh, where did my youth go? Like, I don't know if I really want that. I'm not saying that won't happen. And I end up at some like Fortune 500 company and I'm like, oh, I'm living the best life. But in the moment, that's not what I want. And so I definitely want something that I'm, one, interested in, compassionate about, and allows me the freedom to say, you know what, this isn't for me, and to change and grow. But, yeah.
Takeaways from today. Anything that stood out to you, like big tips?
Make sure that you make sure you're on top of everything, whether it be advisors, majors, scholarships, making sure that you know yourself before you get to college. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Make sure that you know what you're comfortable with and what you're not comfortable with, and make sure you want to do what you want to love. Make sure you do what you love, and not what somebody else wants you to do.
I will say yes to everything Ahmad just said, but also this wasn't talked about, but this is very important. It is okay. It is perfectly fine if you need to take a break.
Yeah.
If you need to just sit down somewhere, turn the lights off, close the shades, the blinds, whatever, and just put on some music and just lay there. Like, that is okay.
Yeah.
I will say that's probably one of the biggest things freshmen struggle with is the course load and having to manage, staying on top of your homework, being active in organizations. That's great. That's fine. But take care of yourself. That is so big. And I feel like it's not emphasized enough. I know I'm doing a better job of it, and I'm so grateful for it. But you alone, just know your boundaries, know your limits. And if you feel like you're getting to that, say it's okay to say no sometimes. Like, I say no all the time. Yeah. And I used to not do that. But I feel so much better now that I'm saying just N-O. No. Later. Leave me alone. So just take care of yourself, and you'll be fine.
And make sure you take advantage of like resources on campus. Like I know they have the counseling center here, VIP center here. Make sure you use those if you need it. So that's what I say.
Yeah, and I would like to say that even in stressful times, just understand that the world is not against you. It seems dark in the moment. You might be stressed. You failed that test. Like, the world is not against you, and college is not there to like beat you up. Like, it's going to be hard sometimes, and there's going to be days where you're like, I'm overwhelmed, but there's definitely resources. Talk to your teachers. Like, they're not the enemy necessarily, even though you're like, oh, you gave me 50 pages to read, like, how dare you? Talk to them, because at the end of the day, they're people too, and they understand that, freshman year especially, college in general, but freshman year especially is a hard time. And trying to manage everything that you think is important versus the things that are truly important is hard, because you're just like, I have this freedom and I don't have a regiment, or I don't have a schedule anymore that was like high school, or like my parents aren't there to tell me this is okay or not. And so that's a hard adjustment. And I think a lot of people realize that, or don't get to realize that until they're actually college students. So just keep that in mind.
I guess my takeaway, I think I'm always just speaking for the people that are very undecided, like I was in high school. And I know that, like, back when I first went to community college, people used to talk down about it and be like, why would you go to community college? Like, people would think I was, like, lazy for it and just didn't want to go to a 4-year college. But don't be ashamed to start off with community college. And even if community college is all you do, at least you got an associate's. You know, a degree is better than nothing. You can get a better job probably with some type of trade school or associate's degree. But if you are really undecided on what you want to do out of high school, go to community college, and then you can kind of go from there. At least you started something, and you have something to build off of. It's not like you're starting from, like, the bottom.
And I will say you don't have to go right into college after high school. Like, I know plenty of people who they just take a year off and they just work and get the money to pay for college. That's actually smart because, one, you get money. And then, two, you can get time to figure out what you actually want to do with your life. Like, if you are working in a mechanic shop and you figure out that, oh, like, I really like cars, then you know what you're going to do when you go to college, if you go to college. You know, some things don't require a degree. So if you know you're good at something, stick to it, and you could probably, you know, make a business out of it or, like, get really big money for it. So don't feel like college is necessary, even though the rest of America says it is. It's really not. As long as you know, just do you.
Thanks for listening to our podcast. We're going to do shameless plugs right now. So y'all can follow us on Instagram at follow us on Instagram at after_hours podcast. Our YouTube is After Hours. We don't have anything posted right now, but this episode will be up hopefully by October 1st. Hopefully we'll stay true to that. You'll know when you listen to this and it's October 1st. And if you want to email us questions, any type of criticism, we'll take any, positive or negative. Email us at afterhourspodcast123@gmail.com. And if anybody wants to shamelessly plug their social medias, now is the time. Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, go ahead.
I'm going to shout out my Instagram at richhomite __.
You want to spell that for the people?
It's spelled RICHHOMIETAY___. Make sure you follow.
Like and subscribe to YouTube. Stay updated. Also, this is your girl Jasmine. Instagram _J_Allen. That is spelled ALLEN. And yeah. I have a YouTube channel of my own. Follow me. Go follow it.
Go follow me at It's Me Mice. Literally mice. Yeah, that sounds weird, but It's Me Mice. And my Instagram is It's Me Mice _.
My digital, footprint is not invisible, but I'm just going to keep it to myself. I'm going to hold it close to my chest, So you can follow all those beautiful people, and we'll just be friends in the spirit. Yeah. Okay. So thank you for that.
I understand that. Okay. All right. So I guess we will see you all next week with our next podcast. Yeah.
And then
we're working on this.
Look forward to our conversation about relationships.
So is relationships going to be the next one?
It's gonna have to be like a 3-part series.
Okay.
Yeah. It might have to.
All right. Oh, go ahead. No, you go. I'm just signing this off. We don't have a sign off.
Well, then our sign off is good night, and we'll see you next time.
All right.
All right.